Okay, you guys, I have to warn you, this is not your regular drawing material, okay? I'll tell you what, normally I film these sort of introduction little bit at the beginning of the video before I even film, whatever I'm going to do. I have done one of these, but I have to refilm it because I thought it would be just a regular unboxing, trying out a new material. This is not, because it is something completely out of this world. I'm not joking. I don't know when it was the last time that I tried a new art material that got me so incredibly amazed and amused and excited at the same time. I've already tried it out, so I'll tell you what, you guys, this is something that you can stamp, you can stomp, you can press, you can roll this material, you can shape it, you can dip it in the water, you can apply water afterwards, you can use it on it. I mean, all sorts of things that you can possibly think of you can do with this thing. So watch this video till the end because I will be testing it through, and at the end I will tell you who I think this material would really be suited to and whose practice it probably is not going to be ideal for. So make sure to watch till the end. It's so much fun, you guys. And for those of you who are new here, hi, I'm Leila, a professional artist. Welcome to my studio and this art channel where I help beginners and intermediate creatives to propel their skill in drawing and watercolor painting and sketching in general. So remember to subscribe to really get everything that you possibly can from this channel. Okay, so let's try this out. This is what it looks like. Now you can see the price. This is of course in New Zealand dollars, and I did get it on special, so this is the full price. Oh, it actually smells a little bit like clay. That's quite interesting. I think I'm gonna need gloves to deal with this. So this is just irregular drawing paper. Oh wow, look at that. Okay, so remember guys how I always use a putty eraser? Those of you that watch my videos know I pretty much use it almost every single time if I'm doing a graphite drawing. Now this stuff kind of feels like that, only a little bit more like clay. You know, the eraser, putty eraser feels more like a blue tack kind of, but this is more like clay. This is really weird. Same weight probably as a clay, I'd say. Okay, so let's see. Look at that. Look how shiny this is. So you see what I mean? But this is pretty cool. Look at the texture of it. Okay, now let's try something else. Wow, look at that. So you can literally like do something, shape it in a certain way and create like a whole tree or, like a bush or something like this at the same time. So let's have a look, like for example. There you go, there's your line of a forest there. And then you reshape it again, and you reshape it, and you do whatever you want. Oh my goodness, I mean, I've never used anything like this. This is incredible, you guys. I can't believe that I've never came across this, because apparently this has been around for years. I don't know, put in the comments, have you guys used this? One thing I'll tell you though, it's very uncomfortable to film, having to remove the gloves to change the camera positions and things like that all the time. It's a bit annoying, but it's okay. It's worth it, you guys, it's worth it. I want to get out some more. You know how stomping works really well, because you can reshape it and do whatever you want. What if we give it a shape, a specific shape? Like, for example, what if I take this? This is just the back of the brush. And you see, if I do this, that's pretty much what I get. This sort of a really organic looking rock-like texture or skin-like texture. But what if I was to do a specific pattern on it? Like this, for example. So all I've done, I've just, did this. Now let's have a look. Oh wow, look at that. See? So you can literally create any kind of a texture. And then you create a pattern. Okay, now let's try something else. Let's try this. Oh wow, look at that. Look at that. How cool. Guys, this is something. Wow, I'm so looking forward to like using this with my students in the classes. I think they'll have absolutely so much fun. Like you can create a backdrop like this. Okay. Do you guys know that I actually have a Patreon page where you can support this channel and also get so many cool and interesting things for yourself? So make sure to go over and check it out. We play art games there. You can see extra tutorials and videos, behind the scenes videos, sometimes art traveling videos. You can also win artworks there, all sorts of fun things. So go over there, check it out, and I hope to hear from you on Patreon. And then use this for something. Let's have a look. This is 6B. So this is just a regular pencil, this. And you can just add things. This is actually quite dark, this putty, so I wonder if actually putting my glove back on, if maybe actually getting a small piece and then shaping it into a smaller sort of a thing, and yeah, look at that, and then just creating yeah, you can't get the really fine stuff. You know how sometimes when we use the putty eraser, guys, how you can get really thin line? It's much harder to get a very thin, very precise line. With this, it's not exactly like that eraser. I'm gonna get a new sheet of paper and I want to try something new with you guys. Okay, so now let's test it as a regular drawing graphite pencil, for example. Let's see how dark it goes. So if I do this, this is the kind of a texture that I would get. Now, what if I pressed a little bit harder? Wow, look at that. That's pretty dark, you guys. And of course, remember the stomping. Okay, so it does that well, and you can imprint some kind of a pattern. So these are the things that so far are quite amazing. but apparently you can also use it with water. Okay, so let's try this out too. Okay, so now I've taken out a small piece and let's see how it behaves with water. So I'm just going to dip this in the water like this. And let's see. Oh my goodness, look at that. It turns into this paste. Wow, 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 wow. Look at this. And guess what, you guys? This, when I'm using it dry, it's, it has somewhat of that sheen to it, like your regular graphite pencils do. But this, when I've added it with water, it's really, really dark. It's got nothing, no sheen to it. It's just black. It's really hard to show it off on the camera. But in real life, I can really see that. Let's try our regular drawing material, if it works the same as it does with the regular pencils. Okay, so this is a regular 6B pencil. And I don't want to use my smudge stick because I don't know if this stuff, like how it behaves. So I'm just going to use a little bit of a rolled up paper. So let's see. So this is... There we go. So this is the regular graphite. Now let's see how this behaves. Now this one, remember, I've put it on dry. So let's see if that... Oh wow, look at that. Look at that. The only difference really is because the pencil is quite a bit harder, so it flattens the tooth of the paper more, whereas this, it just picks up and accentuates the tooth of the paper, which can be great if, for example, you like to create the very natural texture of a cold pressed paper, for example. Now this is quite a bit denser. This is a bit stronger. Let's try this. Look at that, you guys. This is so perfect. Like, the one way that I can see using this in my drawings, and my drawings are very detailed, my own art, I can really see this for a perfect background. It's so much quicker, and you can really smudge it in just like you would with a normal graphite. How cool is that? Now let's see what happens if we've printed it. So I'm just going to use a different side. Oh yeah, it's still smudgeable. Yep, definitely still smudgeable, but not as much, which makes sense because you deposit the least amount of graphite on paper this way. Now, this will be a real test. So I've used this with a bit of water. I think it's dry now. Let's have a look. Oh yes, and I can see something else happening here now, because I'm kind of almost polishing it on the areas where I've been smudging it. It's becoming shiny. Let's see if I can show it to you guys. Can you see that? Can you see? So when it is just wet on paper, it almost looks like charcoal rather than graphite. So it's very black, very dense. But once I'm using paper on top of it, it's almost like I'm polishing it. How cool. So that could be a whole other drawing potential. For example, getting everything black with the damp putty, and then some areas polishing them so that the drawing actually is only visible from certain points as you move across. This can be really cool stuff. This is so incredible. I've never seen anything like this, you guys. We haven't even used half of its potential yet. Let's have a look. Now, while I still have my gloves off, I want to try out how I can erase this stuff, if it's easy to erase, if it's the same as pencil. So this is a putty eraser, using putty graphite and putty eraser. So this is the regular pencil. You see, it's quite easy. Now let's see this stuff when it's in this sort of a way. Oh, it doesn't come off as easy. Let's see this. Yeah, it's much harder to remove. I mean, it still comes off, but not as likely and as easily. Oh, this one seems to be okay. That's quite interesting. So one way with one, the other way with the other. Yeah, you can definitely make it lighter. This one, I don't even know if I should try, because there's so much graphite, it'll be really hard to lift, even if it was just a regular pencil. But yeah, it does work, just not as strong. Let's see this regular eraser. Yeah, there you go. There's a clean. Oh, here's another one. Interesting, very interesting. So the area where it's smudged onto can be cleaned off quite well, but the area itself, where it's on, it doesn't seem to move much. So it has this grip onto the paper. Yeah, this doesn't come off easy as well. I'm really going hard at it. If I put the same amount of work into pencil, yeah, see, it comes off much cleaner. So this is something to watch out for. If you like to be applying things on and removing things off, so it can be quite, something to watch for. Might not be ideal if that's what you're into. Okay, now I'm gonna put my gloves back on, and I want to try something else. So I have this piece here. Let's do something like this. All right, and let's try a dry cotton pad or whatever this is called. Look at this. This is quite cool. Almost looks like a rainy sort of a cloud. Especially if we do a few lines. Look at that. That's pretty cool. I mean, you can do the same thing with your pencils if you've got like a 9B pencil or something, but it's just so much faster to do it with this. I mean, just look at the size of this, it's not your regular pencil. Okay, now let's try something else. So I'm going to apply some of it on the paper. And now I'm going to use a brush and just apply a little bit of water. Just look at that. Look at that. Yeah, you definitely would not get this from your regular pencil, would you? So this becomes literally watercolor. Although I would be very cautious about trying to erase something like this, because remember what we get when we've got watercolor pencils? How you can erase them a little bit when they're dry, but once you've added the water, nothing else. It doesn't dilute back. You can't erase it. It's just there forever and ever. So I have a suspicious feeling that, so I have a suspicion that this might be the same. Okay, we'll leave this to dry. Now, another thing I want to try with this is applying it onto the damp paper. So this is damp paper. Oh my goodness, look at that. That's like butter. It's like putting butter on a warm pan. Oh. Yeah. That's so nice. You guys, this is definitely not your regular drawing material. Definitely not your regular drawing material. Look at this. That's incredible. I mean, how many possibilities just from trying this out like this with just doodles, just testing this out. This is incredible. Now I'm going to leave this to dry so I can test out how to erase it. While I'm doing this, I want to look up this brand and I just want to see what they say about it, if they say anything. Okay, be right back. Okay, so it says that Viarco, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly or not, is a family-owned business located near Porto in northern Portugal. So it's from Portugal. They have developed a unique blend of graphite, carbon, and binders to produce some of the highest quality sketching materials available to artists today. It looks like they've got few different things like this. graphite sticks and things that are water soluble. But I mean, it's not new. I've seen water soluble graphite pencils and, I mean, your watercolor pencils. There's all sorts of stuff like that. Yeah, but this is something. So that's a kneadable graphite putty. It's the most expressive way to use premium artist grade graphite. It definitely is expressive. That's right. So it can help you loosen up. Yeah, I can definitely see that. Great for mark making and blur the lines between drawing and painting. Da 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 da. Yeah, really, really cool. So you can pretty much shape it into a mold and then stomp things. And yeah, big range of shades. Well, we've tried all of that. That's great. So now let's have a look. Okay, so something else I want to try, just got an idea. If we get this stuff, right, and we say apply it, instead of using this dry, I will dampen this in the water, squeeze a bit of moisture out. Yeah, the only downside is that it's a very messy thing to use as well. Oh wow, look at this. See how shiny it becomes when you're actually, it's almost like you're polishing it on the paper. And it seems to last a long time, like it's not, you're not using it up. Like with charcoals, for example, you start to use them up and they use up quite quick. So you can see them diminishing. This thing is just there. It's not even becoming smaller. Okay, so now I'm gonna use a watercolor brush with this. Yes, really, the possibilities are endless with this thing. I mean, you can play with this for not just hours, for days probably. Now I want to try a cotton bud with it. We can probably use it with water as well. So here you go, even if you don't have brushes, you can still use this stuff. Now let's grab a piece of putty. Okay, you guys, I mean, this is quite amazing. I'm just trying it, all the stuff that I'm trying for the first time as I'm filming. And it's very interesting. So my next idea is that this can be rolled over any kind of drawing. So you can draw something and then you can roll this over it. And you can roll it as many times. Let's see. And just like with drawing, when you apply more pressure, you get the darker line. If you just roll it lightly, you get a much lighter imprint. Look at this. Look at, like, if you're trying to draw and you're trying to create this kind of texture, it's not really possible. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna try and do like a really quick little sketch with using this stuff in it in a few different ways. It's just something, out of my imagination kind of thing. Okay, so I've got this. Now let's see if I can roll it this way. Okay, now I'm going to grab a smaller piece of this putty and try and get into a little bit of detail. I know it's not really designed for detail, but anyway, just define some things. Now I need to take this off. I'm sure you can use it with your hands, but it's just even touching the glove. See, that's getting me this. So this is damp now, so I've added a little bit of water to see if it would smudge it a bit better. Okay. What I'm doing is I'm just going around with a little bit of water on the brush, and I'm accentuating these really naturally looking forms that have created from me just rolling this on paper. As I said, I didn't plan anything, I didn't think anything through. I'm kind of letting this medium sort of create this work. So here we could probably do this sort of to resemble a little bit more of that vegetative kind of a vegetation. I don't know, something. So you see, I'm just pretty much just going with the pattern that it's created. I'm just diluting some areas somewhere or creating stronger contrast by bringing more water in. I wonder if it would work if I just picked some of it up with a brush. Let's see. Oh wow, yes, you definitely can do that too. Wow. Guys, this is cooler than an ink stick. You know those ink sticks you can get? Here's a guy with an axe coming in to chop down that tree. You don't have as much control as you do with pencils, and the process is so much faster and so much more organic. That is just, it's so therapeutic using this. So I'm just following the patterns that were left blank white, but I'm instead making them darker, so I'm still using that naturally created lines. It's quite a funny material to hold in your hand. It's a bit different than through the glove, because as I'm holding it, I can literally feel it move under my fingers. This is, you guys, this is incredible. It doesn't seem like your regular product from this planet. It seems like it's from somewhere else. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just sort of as I said, I'm just going along. So yeah, you definitely have the most control when you're using it with a brush like this, what I'm doing now. You probably can do the most details like this too. But the incredible texture like this, like, I know I worked on this as well, enhanced some areas, but there's no way I would have been able to create something so organic just by using a pencil. Yeah. Okay, one more thing I want to try, and that's using it on black paper. I wonder if it's gonna show up or how it will behave. Yeah, look at this. You can really see the shine. You know that shine that I was talking about? You can really see it on the black paper right there. Yeah, so it does come through quite sort of a gray. So if you are looking for really interesting textures in your drawings, if you're really open to playing with those things, definitely go ahead and do this. I read up some more on this, and it actually says that it can dry if you leave it out of its packet, out of its, wherever you keep it in. It can dry, but all you need to do is just add a little bit of water and it will reconstitute itself. Okay, now this is all fully dry. Let's test it out. Let's see if we can actually erase it once it's been diluted. Okay, not much, not really. Let's see here. Yeah, it's really hard, and here you see I've been rubbing so hard that I'm actually damaging the paper a little bit. So yeah, if you are looking for something that you can play with water and then come back with an eraser, this is probably not the material for you. Okay, you guys, so what an incredible product. Okay, as I promised, who do I think it is really suited to? If you are working on large scale drawings where you love to use your body in the drawing movement, this is so perfect for you. It's like, leave all your pencils and graphites and charcoals alone and go for this, definitely. If you love working with very natural textures, you like to incorporate them into your work, like you saw in that sketch that I did, with that rocky sort of a mountain texture. If you love working with fluid medium, so medium that you can draw and then add water and it turns into paint, and then this is also so perfect for you. On the other hand, if you are a person who loves to layer things on, then remove them with erasers and build up your highlights in such a way that, rather than limiting where you apply your graphite, you're actually using your eraser to take some back. You will be struggling with this, I can really see, because once you apply it on the paper, if you use water with it or anything like this, you will have real hard time getting it back. Like you saw, I literally damaged the paper there just because I really wanted it to be able to come off, but it's not. So would I be using this? Probably. I'd definitely be using it in tutorials, and I most definitely will be using it in the classes with my students. Would I be using this in my drawings, my personal art that I do? I don't know. Maybe I'll be able to find a way to do something with it on the background. Like if I wanted to create a really dark background, maybe behind, because I do portraits and things like that, maybe behind my subject, maybe. But I will be really sort of, how would I say it, really nervous about using it over larger areas where I would want to use the eraser afterwards, because I have a feeling I will not be able to create those highlights like I would with my regular pencils. So yeah, I mean, it's incredible. As I said, it almost feels like it's a rock from another planet that just is perfect for art. Whether you would like it, I don't know. Think about it. Where to get it? I'm not really sure where to get it online. Because as I said, I just stumbled upon it in the art shop, and I got it. So maybe check your local store. But yeah, I think it's quite It's quite an incredible thing, really. And just looking at all the things that I've just tried them out, and the rolling technique and the stamping technique, and you can squash it even harder to get that darkness out of it, is really incredible. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and thank you so much to my wonderful, wonderful, lovely patrons who are supporting this channel. And I hope to see you guys soon in the next video. Hope you all have a lovely day, and make sure to watch the next videos that are probably popping up on your screen, already there, that YouTube suggests. YouTube thinks you would like these. So let's see, can we trust YouTube? Will you actually like these or not? Let me know in the comments what you think, and I look forward to seeing you soon in the next video.